Yeah. Okay, we're going live just now. And relax, don't be nervous. We're actually live, but I want to share the video. So you can ignore me for now.
Okay.
Champions League and select all, copy, post. So guys, if you want to, if you have another gadget, remember you can follow on Radul Live on Facebook. I'm just sharing on all my pages. Oh, please put your phones on silent so that your friends don't start bantering with you there. If they want to banter, they come here and banter in the live section. Let me share to the score, where I know Princess Nelly, who's a major Man United supporter, wants to come and cry. She's too shy to be on this show. But she's brave enough to only talk on the score when nobody talks back. Princess Nelly, if you're man enough. By the way, guys, we're now live on the Terrace. This is actually the 4th edition. I'm proud. The first, second, this time last week we had Robbie Lyle, which was great. Let me send a few shout outs before I introduce you guys. Boniface Kate, Nico, Eric Otieno, present, Kisoi Wamuli, Arsenal here I am, Julius Mulaki is present, Oyo Michael, wa Chelsea wako wapi? Chelsea for what? Which tournament? Allah. Ochieng Makondiek said, present Radul, improve on your lighting. My lighting is fine. Is it my lighting or is it everybody else's lighting? By the way, a disclaimer, allow me to introduce everybody. We have Japheth Juma. Japheth, you can wave. Manchester United diehard, brave enough to be here today. Edwin Tanui, Mr. Barcelona, very brave enough to be here today. Kennedy Oloji. Oh, how do you pronounce it? So Kennedy Oloji. This is a disclaimer. Kennedy is actually in a blackout, so excuse his lighting. He's using the computer lighting, so yeah, be nice to him. And Frank Mwinzi, who's not in a blackout, but he's trying to put light now. He's also a Bayern Munich supporter. Edwin Odipo, I've seen your lighting. Kennedy Oloji is in there's a blackout, but he's still here presenting. Florence Radul, my sister is watching, and Enoch Adede says, hello Radul, Simba and Joseph representing Arsenal fans, Kisi branch. Arsenal, we are nowhere today. If you've noticed, I'm wearing a Bayern Munich jersey, which shows that my loyalty lies. Guys, I want us first to talk about the Europa League, and then we will come back and talk about the League of Champions. First of all, there's somebody who posted in the Score Kenya, and Japheth, I want you to come in here. There's somebody who posted in the Score Kenya yesterday in the morning and said, Radul, when we win Europa, remove that profile photo of Arsenal with the FA Cup and put Man United. What happened?
Radul, things happen. And I think as it is football, everyone who watched the game saw the results. As a Manchester United fan and representing many fans, maybe in their own way, the results were not what we expected. If you saw the game, our playing was okay, but we missed chances. So in football, it's about chances. You will play well, but when you miss a chance, your time has gone. Sevilla got a chance, and that's how they got us out. But as a strong team, we are still here, and we are very sure that the future is bright. Looking at our squad now,
so we are bright. Yes. You were removed, Frank Windsy. You're also a Man United supporter. You were removed by Lyon, huh? Lyon, not a big team. This tournament was yours to lose. You know.
No, actually, Carol. First of all, we need to identify where the problem is.
Yes, where's the problem?
Where the problem is. The problem with Man United is the fact that we can see that the Glazers, the owners of the team, as much as they have tried to support the team, but we keep on doing the same mistakes, signing overpriced British players.
Selling or selling?
And then
signing, yeah.
Yeah, overpriced British players. For example, if you look at Joshua Kimmich or even someone like Afonso Alves, and then if you compare them to Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not worth 50 million pounds.
Just a minute, Alfonso Davies, you were about to sign him, but you didn't. You were not good at signing the player. You have lost three players.
Actually, listen. If I'm a kid right now, if I'm a kid right now and I want to sign for a major European club, first of all, Man United is not attractive anymore.
You know, I want to bring Tanui here. Tanui, you're speaking now not as a Barcelona fan. We'll get to Champions League later. Listen to these excuses of the Man United supporters. They're blaming their players.
Carol, if you can give me a minute.
Juma, wait. Since after the break, which team has been in form in the league, first of all? Which team has been in form? When you were in form, you were not complaining about those players. Now you're complaining about those players. Tanui, do you think these guys are making sense?
They are not making any sense because their team is average. In fact, they are lucky that they were in the semi-finals. They were lucky to be getting penalties when they were not supposed to get. So at the time when penalties are not coming, they should not blame even the players.
And sure enough, they got penalties.
They got one, it was not enough to overcome the other team's goals.
Tanui, I want to let that one go. And I think you're a Barcelona fan. And I want to tell you something that, the last time you defeated Manchester United in a Champions League final, that is when your curse started. And you see, you are at a stage where we were when Ferguson left us. In 2013, 2012, our squad was very old and we were getting a new coach. The transition period is very challenging. We are now going out of the transition. You are now starting the transition. Your future isn't even promising.
Juma, we're discussing Man United. Leave Barcelona. Then they were in Champions League in Europa. You'll get to them later.
Yes, I can tell you now. Let me tell you about Man United. The squad that we have currently. It is a very young squad. And give it what they have achieved up to now. 3 semi-finals in a single season, entering into a Champions League spot in Europe. That is what we were not expecting it. That was not our expectations when we started the season. So to this point, I think as a Man United fan, I'm very happy of what the new coach has achieved. But if I analyze what we have done up to now, and how we are progressing, you see, we already removed the deadwood. And we are now replacing some of the deadwoods that we had in the squad. We made some mistakes when signing coaches who did not understand our strategies. But I think the new coach that we have now understands what we are doing. And maybe I'll tell any Man United fan, wherever he is, we should give this team a chance and this coach. These are all that we can dream for. We have moved from where we could not see the future, but now I think there's something we can see.
Carola, just to echo on his words, I think what he said is right, because you find that Solskjaer somehow knows the club inside out. So what we really need to do is just wait for the younger players to gel in, and then maybe Woodward can back up with 1 or 2 world-class signings, just like the way Sir Alex Ferguson used to do.
And do you think that's going to happen? Is that going to happen? What's your target next season?
Our next season?
Probably we are going for the league.
Yes.
So annoyed. Let me read some comments here. Xavier Gital Masharia says, we are done. I think as a Man United supporter, he says, we're done with preseason. We're now focused on the new season. Man United has had a successful preseason and we can now focus on next season. Festus Omondi says, you missed penalties. Then he laughs. Stallone Ouma Jones says, but Man United is depending on penalties as their goals, man. Engineer Dan Oguyo, Manchester United. Sam Wells, Lyon versus Leipzig will be a great final. That's historic. Okay, but it's not. Okay. Alvin Shibidi says, Ndani, Peter Ngondo, you missed penalties in your face. And Luis Muchoki just wants a shout out. He says, I am representing Mbu. But you guys, you have to give it to Lyon, don't you? Respect to Lyon, because those guys fought till the end. And it wasn't an easy win. You know, even the result, 3-1, doesn't really reflect how tight that game was.
But
which credit can you give to Lyon? Sorry, to Sevilla. You guys are playing Sevilla. Sorry. Yes, my head is gone. I'm already in Champions League.
Are we still on Sevilla?
Yes.
I think Sevilla were more strategic in their play. They knew when to attack and when to defend, because they understood the Manchester United game with the Marshall and the group running around with the ball looking for penalties, and they hit them hard, and it was time for them to score.
No.
That's why they were shooting all the time. Manchester United were attacking heavily, but they could not score.
So Edwin, let me give you the analysis.
What happened? Actually, if you watch the game and you understand football, we just missed our chances. Marshall missed like 2 one-on-ones with the goalkeeper. Actually, the only chance they got in the second half was the one cross which Banega crossed, and actually De Jong scored. That's the only chance they got in the second half.
But winning games is about taking your chances.
Yes.
Taking your chances.
Yeah.
So Sevilla, as much as they were good, but clearly they did not deserve to win this match.
But
we just missed our chances. That's all.
The only one-on-one chances you score are penalties. But
Carol,
it's open play. You cannot score.
Edwin, I hope you watched the game, and I think our coach missed something, because he waited until the 87th minute when he did the substitutions. But if you look at how we played our last game against Copenhagen, we struggled a bit. We even went to extra time. Our players were very tired. Their legs were very tired. And also looking at how we have performed in the Premier League, it was tasking for us to get even to the Champions League. So I know we made mistakes towards the end of that game. Our coach could have made some changes, I think, bringing in Mata like 20 minutes before the second half is ended. Mata would have maybe made some changes, some difference in the game. But we missed that opportunity in substitution. And also, now that Lindelof made that mistake at the end of it, cost us because of our own mistake. It was about concentration. But I think we thought we would be moving out to that game. So what happens is that we miss our chances, and we were not strategic enough to get to the win.
Any excuses? Patrick Murithi here in the comment section. He says, Carol, next season Man United is going for the Premier League. We have the best players in dribbling. That's why we're getting penalties. Really. Ken Awili, Radul, toa Man kwa mdomo yako. Go away. Kilasa wewe. Yeah, they played last night and they lost to Sevilla. Ochiweda, Man U without penalties is an ordinary team. That I agree. Let's look at tonight's semi-final. Penalty United.
It's part of the football. Eh?
Yeah, but
not is part of a football team.
I saw him 22 penalties this season and no trophies.
Yes.
22 penalties.
Carol, listen.
Carol, do you even ask yourself why we have been given the penalties? Why are you in our position?
You know the people who are controlling VAR. Manchester United.
It shows you. It shows you that we have a menacing attack. People who get fouled every time.
No. How many chances did you have on the box compared to other teams? How many times?
In which game?
Compared to other teams?
The whole season.
The whole season. The whole season.
How many games have you watched this season? Obviously, you are going to banter us because, first of all, you've said you are somehow a Liverpool fan, so we understand the rivalry.
Yes.
By the way, Kennedy, you said you're somehow a Liverpool fan. I don't know what that means. Anyway, guys, I'll just look at tonight's game. Inter Milan versus Shakhtar Donetsk. And this, again, just like Champions League, no English team in the final. No, okay, there's a Spanish team already in the final in Sevilla. So Inter Milan versus Shakhtar Donetsk. Who knows anything about those two teams and who are you putting your money on? Tanui, you must have an opinion there.
Yes.
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan. Yes, I think Inter Milan will struggle and win. It's not automatic, but they'll struggle and win because they have some 2-3 talents there to score goals. But they'll have to sweat for it. It's not an easy game.
It's not easy for any team at this point. Kennedy, do you want to chip in here between Inter Milan? By the way, guys, you need to excuse Kennedy. He has a blackout, so he's literally tethering on his laptop on a battery and using his laptop light. So when you can't see Kennedy, now you've disappeared. It's because there's a blackout where he is, but he made it to the show, which is great. So Kennedy, do you have an opinion? Inter Milan versus Shakhtar Donetsk. It's tonight, by the way.
For me, I think Inter Milan. Because when it comes to the Europa and the Champions League, it's usually the pedigree. Inter Milan has a strong is of the European soccer, just like the other teams, which yes, they're good technically, but now the pedigree. Without the kind of pedigree, which is the experience, the part of the experience which is quite needed at this stage.
If it goes,
I'll go with the Inter Milan.
If it goes as per that prediction of Inter Milan, it means on Friday, it's going to be Sevilla versus Inter Milan in the final of Europa. At the beginning of the season, did anybody think, with all those English teams that were there,
Let me cheat on something.
Yeah.
Let me cheat on something. There's one thing you are forgetting.
Yes,
we are talking much about Inter Milan. We are talking much about Inter Milan with Lukaku, Sanchez, and stuff. But there's also Shakhtar Donetsk. If you look at their history since 2011, they have a tendency of signing unknown Brazilian, very good players. Fred, Willian, Fernandinho, Luis Adriano. Just look at the
Did you just call Fred very good?
So actually, somehow, if you look at the squad right now, they also have very good young Brazilian players in that team. To beat Basel 4-0, 4-1, it's not something we can take lightly. If you look at Inter Milan's defense, some of their FC Basel.
But FC Basel have been on a downward trend, even in their league.
If you look at Inter Milan's defense with Shkinia, Godin, and stuff, they are like the defense is kind of very, very slow compared to Shakhtar defense. So it's not a team that we are going to easily underestimate.
How about the experience?
They also have European experience. They have won the Europa League also. So it's not a team that does not have any European experience.
So
my prediction.
Yes.
In my prediction,
yes,
it's going to be a tough match, but I'll go for Shakhtar.
You go for Shakhtar, and
that is my prediction. Yeah.
Kennedy, you're the one who said Inter. Japheth and Tanui, what are you predicting tonight?
Actually, my dream Europa League final was Inter versus United, but since the United is out,
that dream has gone. Forget about it.
I'll say today I'm putting my money on Inter, but I'm very worried of Shakhtar, as Frank has put it. Shakhtar I can't give them. I can't kick them out of the tournament at this point. What I know is that the game could even go to the extra time, and they could. I would see a probability of penalties, but Inter eventually would win. So I'm still putting my money on Inter, But what I can say in the final is that Sevilla will be taking the final.
Sevilla will win the tournament. Tanui, what's your prediction? Between Inter and Shakhtar, and then the final.
Inter will win, but Sevilla will win the final.
You believe in Spanish football, eh? Mr. Barcelona.
Sorry, allow me to laugh. Looking at Sevilla, the way they, looking at Barcelona, Sevilla, the way they are played, their games, I think it is they know how to win cup games. Maybe in the league they perform poorly because it takes time, but for cup games they can easily win.
There's some comments here I want to read. There's one from Evano Omosh. She says Inter Milan will win the game because of Antonio Conte's game tactics. He's very good when it comes to tactics, but on the other side, Shakhtar also very good when it comes to attacking, but their problem is defending. But I believe Conte will carry the day. So he's for Inter Milan. Kisoi Wamuli says, I always admire Italian soccer. Inter for me. Lewy Lewis says, Inter Milan versus Sevilla. That's the final with Sevilla to win the Europa League. And Wamahiga Njenga says, Inter will beat Shakhtar. So even guys saying that Shakhtar are very good in attack are still saying because their defense is a bit weak, that it's going to be Inter and eventually Sevilla to win the tournament. I don't know what you think about who's for Sevilla winning the tournament.
For me, Sevilla winning the tournament.
You guys will put your hands up like we're in school. Okay, who's for Inter winning the tournament? Frank and Kennedy, you think Inter will win?
No.
Sevilla.
Sevilla.
I think you Man United guys are just sore. You were beaten by Sevilla, so you think the team that beat you has to win. So then you say that you played a final.
There's something we are forgetting.
Yes.
During when the season began, everyone was rooting Inter Milan like to go in the Champions League all the way because the players they had. Just look at the group which Barcelona are very dreadful, but Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund. This season, not that good, but somehow they managed to find themselves in the Europa League. So that shows something. That if you look at Inter Milan's the backbone of the team, that is from midfield going backwards. How, as a coach, as much as they are very good players, how do you even sign Ashley Young, someone who's almost 35 years old, to play as your wing back? It means that also there's a problem with the defense, and if Shakhtar Donetsk manages to press Inter Milan just like the way Olympique Lyon managed to counter-attack against Manchester City, you guys.
You've been put on mute, Frank. I don't know if it's your daughter who's playing around with your with your laptop, but she's put you on mute. You're on mute. You need to unmute your laptop. I want to move on and talk about Champions League while Frank unmutes his sound. Let's talk about the Champions League quarterfinals. Let me just review the results. I remind you what the results were. PSG beat Atalanta 2-1. Leipzig beat Inter Milan 2-1. Man City were beaten 3-1 by Lyon. And Barcelona, should I say it loudly?
Very loud.
No.
You know, I'm an Arsenal fan and I was on the receiving end of this scoreline. I know what it feels like. So, Tanui, hold your head up high. But I want us to discuss that game last. Let's look first at Atalanta versus PSG. For me, the way PSG has been playing, both in the league, their cup tournament, anything, I'm actually shocked at this result. And I thought PSG would get a higher scoreline. But having watched the game, if I'm not wrong, they scored their first goal almost on 90 minutes. And then just managed to get the winner in 89th minute, right? And then within like 5 minutes, they got their 2 goals. So did that result go as expected, and did the performance go as expected?
Well, let me start. PSG, first of all, the way they play their football, they depend on the individual brilliance of Neymar or Mbappe. They didn't deserve to win that game. Atalanta were the better team.
I felt the pain for Atalanta. I was already cheering. Yes, Kennedy.
As for me, yes. PSG, Atalanta. PSG now, when it comes to the Champions League, that's why the likes of Man City don't far too much, because this is where the experience comes along. Atalanta, if they were like having that kind of experience of a Champions League knockout, they could have held on for the last few minutes and they could have taken the day. But now,
that is so painful. That's a double sucker punch, you know. Huh? Okay.
One mistake and you're out. One mistake you do even for 5 minutes in the Champions League and you're out definitely.
And that's what happened
in a defense and then you're out.
Atlanta. Yes, Juma.
Atalanta.
Sorry. Let's Juma, let Tanui go first because I know you'll talk for half an hour.
So it was pain. It was a painful moment for the underdogs, Atalanta. Because, they only needed some 6 minutes concentration and win that game. But I think one, they were outdone by their lack of experience in such situations, and two, the brilliance of Neymar and Mbappe. When Mbappe came in, I think everything changed, and maybe their defense were confused a little bit. On the side of PSG, I think PSG they are under a lot of pressure, and going forward, I believe they won't even manage to carry that pressure because the pressure of winning the Champions League on them is too high. Atalanta played without any pressure, and that is why they managed to take their chance, absorb all the pressure, but unfortunately they did not manage to see through it. They're almost there.
Yes, Juma.
But I don't think PSG will go far.
We'll get to the pictures just now.
Yes, I know for people who watched that game for the neutrals, I think they were all for Atlanta. But I think if you watch the game between Man United and PSG, how PSG were eliminated with the last minute penalty, the same pain that PSG felt is what Atlanta, I think, went through. So I gave it to PSG at that point. But Atlanta had a good game. They were coached because of experience, and I don't see PSG with that game going anywhere with how they have been playing. But I also think the French league, the Ligue 1, is a weak league because PSG are not getting enough competition. That's why they're not going far in the Champions League, despite the number the superstars in their team.
How can you call League 1 a weak league and they have 2 teams in the semis of Champions League?
And two teams in the semis.
This season, actually, the trophies is just I'm calling COVID-19 trophies.
Yeah, where's Tanui disappeared to? Continue. Hello? Sorry, let Kennedy go.
Kennedy, continue first.
They're calling League 1 and Bundesliga weak leagues. But these leagues, first of all, we are under cash constraint. And we are still managing to go past the quarters-finals. For Bayern has been winning the Bundesliga every season. Why? Because they are good. They are planning their own future. Bayern cannot reduce their prowess so it's the teams who match up our standard.
Kennedy, let me educate on something. Bayern Munich, what they do, they just weaken their opponents in the Bundesliga. We know that it's happening.
Yes.
Lewandowski, Matumes.
Hello, Mwinzi. I think it's my internet.
Mario Götze, Leon Goretzka, Lucio, Michael Ballack.
From them. So we return the Bundesliga talents within the Bundesliga, or they go outside the other leagues. Because at the end of the day,
I think my internet is misbehaving. I missed that whole conversation. I think my internet is also misbehaving. But I want us to move on to one of the other games that were played in the semis. Leipzig versus Atletico, another result that we thought, or at least I thought Atletico was strong enough, maybe because of the experience they've been reaching Champions League semis and finals, and now they were removed by Leipzig. But credit to Leipzig, yeah?
Actually, Leipzig give it 2 years' time. I think it's going to be the only team in Germany that will challenge Bayern Munich. They have the financial muscle.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Atletico and Leipzig. The only problem with Atletico, they are good in big teams because they don't press. They like defend. So in this case, like when they're playing some sort of smaller teams, they tend to be very, very poor because their own experience, like playing big teams, like Bayern, playing Liverpool, such kind of big teams, which press hard. But when they find a sort of like a middle-level team, they usually tend to fail because the approach of the game is usually as an underdog game. So when then like they have to push the game to take the game to their opponent, they usually fail a lot because they don't have that caliber of pressing. They just wait and counterattack. So in that game, they didn't have that chance of holding back like they used to. They played against Liverpool, so they could not have that kind of game there. So they usually fail on that kind of games. So that was expected.
That was expected. Yes, Tony.
Yeah, it was expected.
Everybody underrated Leipzig. They outplayed Atletico completely. Atletico had no chance in that game because you look at the whole of that game, Atletico outplayed in every part and every department, even in defending, in the midfield. In fact, in the midfield, they were completely dominated. And there is no way Atletico could even win that game. I think everybody underrated Leipzig, and it's now a fact that Leipzig is a very strong team and a threat to any other team in the Champions League.
But Leipzig have been doing well even in the Bundesliga. So I don't know why people are underestimating them. Huh? They finished.
That's why.
Yeah, they were just third.
And that's why, Carol, I was telling you, give Leipzig 2 or 3 years.
They'll be a force to reckon with.
Yeah, because they have the financial muscle that is obviously being backed by Red Bull. And so it means that if they are going to use Bayern Munich systems, whereby they are going to be weakening their opponents, first of all, then I think they are going to be a very, very good team in Germany, and maybe they are going to challenge in Europe. If not this season, maybe next season.
You know, and having sold their best striker. Their best striker did not play. He was going to Chelsea, so everybody thought that they were now done. I think that is what made everybody underrate. Even I think Atletico might have underrated Leipzig because of lacking their talisman.
There's somebody here with that comment. Winnie Richards Madikizela. Hi, Winnie. Winnie says, I am an Atletico fan and I am still recovering. I think they don't know what happened. They don't know what happened.
They don't have to use history. It's not like Atletico have a name. Leipzig, they don't have a name. It's just a new team.
Leipzig.
They're
defining themselves. They're becoming a force to reckon with. Ronald Okoth, Atikaro, stop ignoring. Kindly confirm, is that a Crystal Palace jersey you're wearing? Looks like our kit for the new season that we launched last week in South London. What do you mean? First of all, Ronald, our kit, you're a Palace fan. Secondly, no. This is not only Bayern Munich, it is actually signed by a former player. This, you see this, you can't see nicely. It's autographed by Paulo Sergio. Do you know who Paulo Sergio is? You Bayern fans. Do you know who Paulo Sergio is? He won Champions League with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Paulo, the Brazilian.
The Brazilian. He won the World Cup with Brazil in 1994. He personally gave this to me when they were in Nairobi in 2008. We hosted them at Radio Jambo, and he gave me this jersey and he autographed it. Ronaldo Koth at the Crystal Palace, Yawato. Why would they be wearing a Christmas? I need to explain. Bayern Munich. This is, by the way, this is a classic jersey, and it's so oversized. Classic. It's oversized, but I really don't care. Lewy Lewis says Leipzig versus Bayern Munich final. Aidan Omar, ladies and gentlemen, a Man United fan talking about a penalty. Imagine, they own those penalties. Brian Erish says, I think the German teams will win both European titles. And then someone told him there's no German team in Europa. There is. Leipzig is still in Europa. But I want us to look at...
Europa.
Oh, sorry, Leipzig in Champions League and... yeah, there's no German team in Europa.
No.
There are two German teams in Champions League. Huh?
What have you been taking recently?
You know, as an Arsenal fan, I've been taking nothing. I've not been taking Europa. I've not been taking Champions League. I don't even know what's going on. So have pity on me. Have pity on me. I want us to look at one of the other games, Manchester City, Lyon. Now, there is a result that nobody saw coming. Not even Lyon saw that coming. Yeah. Who wants to analyze that game first?
Okay. I'll go. Maybe.
Juma, your noisy neighbors, or who are the noisy neighbors?
You see, for my noisy neighbors, when I watched the whole game, I blamed Pep because Pep had decided to be conservative in his lineup. Mm-hmm. He wanted to play the game the same way Lyon plays. Lyon played their own game, and that is where Man City lost that game. I imagine David Silva on a bench. The midfield was totally lost. Fernandinho, we know him, the errors he makes in the Premier League. He was their defense. He was given one of our former players, Depay, who disturbed him, and he was replaced for Dembele to come and outshine the whole team.
Why do you have to bring in that he's a former Man United player? It's not relevant.
What I wanted to say is, I think Pep lost the game himself. Everyone expected Man City to do better and even to go past that stage. I was seeing them in the final, and I was worried when they kicked out my other team, Real Madrid. I felt bad, but because they're also English, I had that attachment, and they're my neighbors. I thought their game is also good. I had given to them, but their coach and I think he has some fears when it comes to the final stages. He lost the game himself. It's the team to blame their own selves.
Yeah, you know, one thing I respected about Sir Alex, and don't think because I'm an Arsenal fan, I didn't. Sir Alex never joked around with his lineup, regardless of the tournament, regardless of the game. He never joked around with his lineup. And by the time you're in the Champions League quarters, any team you're about to meet is not a walkover. So I think Pep he shot himself in the foot. And then he tried to recover late on by trying now to bring in some of the players who he should have started in the beginning. Yeah?
I think the biggest problem with Pep was he was preparing for the semi-final against Bayern Munich. That is why Riyad Mahrez and David Luiz did not David Silva.
He won the game before the game.
Yeah, he won the game before the game. The second one was, I think they put too much pressure on Sterling. That's why Sterling, when he was supposed to pass the ball, he was shooting. When he was supposed to shoot, he was passing that ball. And the chance that he lost, the glorious chance that he had. The third thing that killed them was maybe luck, like the second goal for Lyon. In another day, in another circumstance, it will have been an offside. But luck was against them again. So there are three reasons that they lost. But
all is disagreeing.
All is for Pep. Pep won the game before playing, and he was preparing for the next game that he was not sure whether he will participate or not.
And it serves him right that he's out. Winzy, why were you disagreeing?
The offside thing.
Yeah.
The offside. He's saying there was an offside goal. There was no offside. The guy was in an offside position, but did he even play the ball? No.
Yes,
so there's no offside.
I've seen that you are a Manchester United fan.
Secondly,
there was a game for Manchester United. I can't remember.
No, wait, Stanley, just wait.
Where a player.
Kindly wait.
Just okay. Mwinzi finish, and then Tanui, you'll talk.
Tanui, yeah. I'm a professional referee, so I know what I'm telling you. The Olympic Lyon second goal was not an offside. That is one. Two, I have only three things to say. The second thing is Pep Guardiola made a tactical mistake. He tried to play Lyon at their own game. The third one is we don't call them Bayern Munich. We call them disciplinary committee.
The discipline London.
That's what they're doing. Tanui, you were cut short. Do you want to?
Yes, I've seen Mwinzi is a Manchester United fan, I think so. But there was a game, I can't remember, it was Manchester against, but because Manchester were to be beaten. But the player who was to block the ball removed his legs, and the goal was counted as an offside for Manchester United.
So he's feeling pain.
For Lyon and Man City, one
the
player first of all had down.
Guys, we need to move on from this conversation anyway. Let me read some comments. Let me read some comments that we include. Mwinzi, let me read some comments so we include people who are watching as well. Let me see. A shout out to Tim Torino de Rose. He says he's watching from Australia. Great show. Thank you, Tim. Hey, we have a Muzungu fan. Thank you. Ronald Okot says, oh, my bad. That kit is fierce. Of course it's fierce. Eh? We must have copied it then. Some signs that we might just have a great season ahead. Palace by blood. Yeni Kenya has a Crystal Palace fan. Okay. Xavier Gitao Masharia, that's a Luo girl talking. Okay, let's get back on football. Ochiweda says Pep underrated Lyon and he tampered with his lineup. Silva, Mahrez on the bench. And Princess Nelly Nelson, Pep underrated Lyon. Princess Nelly, she's woken up. You know, she went underground after United lost. Guys, I want us to look at the other game. Since Tanui has been doing a lot of talking, I wonder if he still wants to talk. Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. Kennedy, you've been quiet just because you're a blackout. Guys, let Kennedy talk.
Okay.
Kennedy.
Okay.
It's not Bayern Munich, it is disciplinary committee.
Yeah.
Kennedy.
Okay. For Bayern Munich, first of all, if you have any lapses in your defense, they will punish you as harshly. That's one mistake which it was on the Barcelona side. It's not the first time Bayern has beat and thrashed Barcelona. 2013 back, under your case, we did 3 at home and 4 at their side, at Camp Nou. So this is not it was expected. The way they played against they played against Napoli, it was expected. Because if you can remember, during the last league game, Messi had preempted that if they don't improve on their defenses, they'll be actually beaten in the Champions League. And what Messi actually came to. It came to true because first of all, if you can see the whole structure of the Barcelona, first of all, the list of the problem was Messi. Messi is the top scorer this season, the top assist this season. So most of their problems were lying in their defense. And
by the time you let in 8 goals, trust with your defense. By the time you've let in 8 goals. Tanui, let me bring Tanui in here.
I think that our biggest problem was Setien, the way he set up the team. Our passes were not even fluent. I don't know what he told those players because we are 11 people playing, not 11 Barcelona players. There were 11 people in that field playing for Barcelona. In that everybody, we didn't have 2 or 3 passes complete. It was just some form of, I don't even know what was up in that field because even from the start, you could just see that Barcelona were going to lose by a very big margin because they were not coherent in their passing. They had a big problem, and it was an end of an era that was marked with a very bad massacre that happened, and we watched it. It was not good for us as Barcelona fans.
But let me cut this short. 2 years ago, they lost to Liverpool by 4 goals to 0. They lost at
the same stage. At the same stage.
Yeah, at the same stage. And 2 years ago,
the season was the semi-final. They lost the semi-final to Liverpool.
Yeah, and the other year before, they lost to, it was AS Roma. They also lost to AS Roma. So this has been something which has been going on since then. Since 2015, I can say 2016, they've been losing with a great goal margin. So what I can say is just like an end of an era. Their squad is aging.
Yes, Juma.
And that's what I was reminding Tanui when we started the show. Barcelona are facing the same challenges we faced when Ferguson left us. Their squad is aging. They don't have consistency in their coaching staff. They have elections. The presidential elections are just coming sometimes, I think, this year. So Barcelona is a confused team, and it will take them time to recover. The last time they defeated...
How is it a confused team? Manchester United.
Do you remember the last time you won Champions League?
Barcelona is in the quarterfinals of Champions League.
Tanui, what you explained just now...
Champions League, and a super team cannot be...
Tanui, what you explained just now, that there weren't 11 players, there were 11 people. That is a sign of confusion.
11 people.
That's a sign of confusion. That's
mental.
I think...
Tanui, I can tell you something. You see, Barcelona, as a team, they have history in the way they've been signing their players. Barcelona relies on players who are in the homegrown players. They have changed their system. They're getting players all over the continent. It's not the same Barcelona we are used to.
So they're losing their culture.
Yes, the culture is going. And for you to, you need someone. I think.
Carol, let me just add on what Juma is saying. Barcelona, when Pep took the team back in around 2009, Barcelona were producing like the best young players through La Masia Academy. Right now, you find that all the young players are leaving La Masia at a very young age and joining other European teams. Barcelona, since they sold Neymar to Paris Saint-Germain, they've been spending money on expensive flops. Dembele, Griezmann, Coutinho, name them.
And
if you look at that squad, which played Bayern Munich, you'll find that they had 300 million euro players on the bench. Dembele was on the bench, Griezmann was on the bench, Coutinho was on the bench for Bayern Munich. So it means that the hierarchy somewhere in that office, they are not doing the right thing, and they also need to go back to what they used to do. That is producing good players through the La Masia Academy.
Let me read some comments.
Now, the most okay.
Let me read some comments here. Evano Omosh says Barcelona has been an average team for the whole season. So to me, it was not surprising results. Xavier Gital Masharia says Barca are in the dark. Usiku wa manane is real. Rema Jaka, internet is misbehaving today. Pole Rema, Pole. But the show will be there for the whole week. Wamahiga Njenga says Barcelona have never even managed to replace Xavi or Iniesta magic. Then comes aging Messi and Suarez. Princess Nelly, Bayern and Barcelona match was the most ridiculous game ever. I expected Barca to lose, but 8-2. Damn it. And then Ochiweda says Barcelona over relies on Messi. Do they? Is that true?
Yes, they do rely on Messi's brilliance.
So if he's having a bad game,
Alfonso Davis.
I think the whole season we have been over reliant on Messi. Messi has lifted us from one game to the and that's why I blamed the coach Etienne when setting up the game against Bayern Munich. He knew very well that Munich will massacre a team that will give them this. But he went ahead to create opportunities where Bayern Munich will confuse the defense and massacre us. So Setien is a big problem. And in addressing the culture of Barcelona, I think Barcelona has also had a problem in that now we are also picking players from everywhere, every corner. That's why we are losing our identity as Barcelona. And the replacement for Setien, I think, should be someone who understands the Barcelona system. And also the president, I think, is very ambitious, because I expected that to wake up morning with the news that Setien has been fired. He's reluctant. I don't know. Maybe he's less ambitious.
I'm seeing a comment here from Zach
There are some
Waweru.
games they are playing inside management that no one understands.
I'm seeing a comment here from Zach Waweru. He says Barcelona is going to surprise everyone next, now that they have hired Netherlands coach Ronald Koeman. Oh,
it's just a rumor.
It's just a rumor. Zach Waweru.
Carol.
But wouldn't that be an acquisition? But wouldn't that be a good acquisition?
They're getting things wrong. How do you then sell Atamelo, a 23-year-old player, to Juventus, and you get Miralem Pjanic, a 30-year-old midfielder? Does it make sense to you?
Arturo Vidal is your midfielder.
Piqué is over 30. Vidal is over 30. Rakitic is over 30. Busquets is over 30. Messi is over 30. Suarez is over 30.
They should retire.
And
let me do some comments, and then I want to talk about the Bayern form at the moment. Alex Ajanga, I just want to shout out, watching from Mombasa. Brian Erish says it's called transition. You can't be great all the time. Patrick Murithi, it will take time for Barcelona to recover if they don't follow their culture, which is what most of you have been saying. George Walker says, I don't have much to put across. Radul, I am sick. Okay, Pole George, I don't know whether he's really sick or if he's a Barcelona supporter. If you're really sick, George, Pole Sana. But going forward and looking at the semis, Leipzig versus PSG, and then Lyon versus Bayern Munich. And when we get to Bayern Munich, we'll talk about the Bayern Munich form. Just a quick prediction, because we've talked about both Leipzig and PSG. What are your predictions for Leipzig PSG?
Leipzig to win, mine.
You believe in German football, eh?
They are working machine. PSG is only dependent on Neymar's individual brilliance. That's all. Their defense is very shambolic.
The referee has broken. Yes, Juma.
That dependent is what will get them through to the finals. For PSG 2-0.
Because in big games like semi-finals, you need those big players.
What happens if Neymar has an off day?
Your daughter is louder than you. Your daughter is louder.
No, it's not me.
That should be Kennedy.
Kennedy, that's your daughter. Why are you all disowning your children, guys?
Leipzig PSG.
Leipzig PSG, Tanui.
Yes, Leipzig PSG, I give it to Leipzig. PSG have a lot of pressure. They want to perform. They want to reach the finals of the Champions League, and I think the pressure will be too much for them. And Leipzig playing their football, having achieved, I think so, for their season.
Sometimes pressure is not always bad.
They will not make Atalanta mistakes.
Pressure is not always bad. Sometimes that pressure drives you to perform, and by the time you have players as big as the ones that PSG have, heck, you should be able to play with pressure.
So Mbappe, the first game, Mbappe wasn't 100% fit. So this next game, Mbappe might start and expect something.
Let's look at the other game, because we only have about 5 minutes, 6 minutes left before the show is over. Lyon versus Bayern Munich. Is anybody here, anybody giving Lyon even half a chance in this game?
Ask Edwin.
Barcelona had more than half a chance, and look what happened. So Lyon versus Bayern Munich. Is anyone giving Lyon any chance?
Three, 4 goals there.
No, I think Bayern will win, but with a very small margin, maybe 2-0.
3-0 for Bayern.
To Bayern.
3-0.
Yes.
Actually, Carol, As much as Bayern Munich have been very good this season, but let us not forget one thing. Jerome Boateng is very, very slow, and Lyon have a pacey attack.
Ask Man City. Yes?
No, but if you look at Bayern Munich game against Chelsea, when Chelsea began pressing them, they scored a goal. It was disallowed by the VAR, and then they scored another one. So it means that if Lyon presses Bayern Munich, yes, it's going definitely to expose some weaknesses. But I'm saying I'm going for Bayern.
Yes, I can see you laughing, but you're Bayern supporters.
Okay. For me, what I can say, since the start of this year, Bayern has not lost a single game so far. Then in the Champions League, we have the 100% record winning rate. We haven't lost some point. So I'm not expecting us to lose a point with Lyon. We won all our games at the group stages, at the knockout stages, and this time also. So I'm expecting a 3 to 4 goals there.
Just to add on stats, Bayern Munich games this season, 50 games, 150 goals scored, on average 3 goals per match.
Wow. Wow. That's fierce. That's fierce. And then they've already got rid of the big teams, like the Barcelonas of this world.
Barcelona is not a big team anymore. It's just Milan.
There's more teams.
One person at a time. One person at a time.
I don't think they will score more goals. Because Lyon will sit back. They will not be running around like Barcelona.
Juma, what are your thoughts? Lyon versus Bayern.
Lyon versus Bayern, and I was surprised by this guy called Alphonso Davies, and I think Bayern will be taking it 3-0. I know Lyon might change their playing style, but that will be to their disadvantage. You remember Bayern actually were the finalists last year, season's finalist of the Champions League. The same thing happened to Liverpool. They were finalists. They came back and won the league, the Champions League. I'm expecting Bayern to do the same. They'll win the Champions League. But I know on Lyon they'll do not more than 5 goals. So I'm giving Bayern 5-0 or 3-0.
So right now Lyon has nothing to lose. Let me just get some comments. Wamahika Njenga says German machine will be at it again. PSG loss. He's talking about the Leipzig PSG game. Ivana Omosh says PSG will carry the day, but they must do their homework very well or else. Alex Wassam says PSG will thrash RB Leipzig. Ochiweda, why is he bringing Manchester teams here? Manchester teams are nowhere. They're nowhere. They're like Arsenal. We're not in this conversation. Alex Wassam, Bayern will win no matter what. Omosh, expectations are Bayern to win, but I believe Lyon are good when it comes to making life difficult. The attacking teams, but very good on taking their minimal chances. But I still believe Bayern will carry the day. Ochiweda says the panelists shouldn't keep on making excuses about age. Age is just a number. Yes. It's a Kenyan speaking, where African footballers or any age, we don't know. Norbert Maik says Boateng came in for Sule because he was injured. He's not a starter in the Bayern setup. But yeah, he might be forced to start in the next game. We don't know. But who wants to predict? Well, is it a no-brainer that Bayern is going to win this tournament? Do you think any team...
It depends on who they play in the final.
If it's PSG?
It's going to be a tight match, but Bayern will carry the day because of the team is functioning as one.
And if it's Leipzig?
We've beaten them already in the Bundesliga, so it's just like Man United versus Arsenal.
Okay. Is there anyone who's not giving it to Bayern? Is there anyone who's not giving this to Bayern? But remember, this is Champions League. These are semis, final. Whoever makes it to the final,
I'm giving it to Bayern, but the final will Leipzig versus Bayern Munich.
German final, huh?
Yeah, yes. No, all German final.
An all German final. Brian Erich says it's football, expect anything given that it's a one-leg affair. Titus Munyao, he just wants a shout out. He says, I'm watching live. Zach Swaweru, in the final, Bayern versus PSG. Boita Kaloki says, huyu jamaa wa Manchester, hiyo ni, ati hiyo ni sauti yake. Ama yesterday, Jana, asking for president. By the way, Juma, this Boita Kaloki who's talking like this, he sounds like Nick Mwendwa. I don't even know why he's making fun. It's a comeback thing.
We shall revisit.
Boita, pole sana. He's my friend. By the way, he's watching from Dubai. Hilda Chepto. Hilda was a guest here on the first show. She's a player, by the way. She says Leon might expose that high line of Bayern. That would be an interesting match to watch. Hey, guys, imagine the 1 hour is over. Does anyone have a parting shot? I'll let you all give a parting shot. Mwinzi, oh yeah, you told me you're a referee. Where do you referee?
Yeah.
Huh?
The National Super League.
The NSL?
Yeah.
Has Nick Mwendwa paid you?
I would want to talk about
Referees always complaining. Referees always complaining. No, it's a legitimate concern, by the way. It's not even a laughing matter.
Yeah. But on such a platform, I prefer, let me just put it, it's an in-house issue.
Sour. I'm the one who will make noise about it, since nothing can happen to me. Japheth Juma, parting shots.
Expect a very dangerous Manchester United next season. Who knows what will win, but we will go all the way in the Champions League. We are going to do some twists. I know we need to bolster one in our defense, and unfortunately, we are not getting Sancho. But I know we have, like, if we make 2-3 signings, that team is a very good team to go for. So for any Manchester United fan in Kenya and the world, I think we can see the light at the end of the tunnel very soon.
Carol, let me correct Juma on one thing. Huh? I was reading, I think, somewhere around 6, where Sancho was ready to push for a move as long as Manchester United meets Dortmund's demands.
That man is much, my friend.
So,
guys,
as long as we make the correct signing, if we make the correct signings, a centre back, a right-sided winger, then I think we are good. But if you are going to the next season in this same team, okay, we are going to be that good. But challenging for the league with Liverpool and Manchester City improving, not really.
Not yet. Not yet, eh? Tell the Man United supporters, not yet. Tanui, a parting shot.
On our side, we expect that 8-2 will be a wake-up call to the management of Barcelona. At least there should be massive changes to the staff and also the players, because we are not used to things. So there should be massive changes. 2, I expect that next season after the changes, Barcelona will be back to their football, their tradition, and the things they are used to be doing. 2 is as also another kind of fun. I expect that next season will be better for us, having won the FA, which will be the second trophy after the Premier League. I expect that it will be a good season for us with Mikel Arteta.
So, Kennedy.
Okay, as for me, I'm expecting
20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm expecting Bayern to carry on the day, win the next 2 games, so that we can lift the treble, hopefully. Yeah, and for the next season, I expect to improve on a few areas with the acquisition of Leroy Sané. So Leroy Sané with all the other midfielders, I think Bayern will be much stronger than it is currently. Yeah, well, that's what I believe.
That's what you hope. Well, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you. I think it's been a great show. It's been a lively discussion. And yeah, took time to get some of you on board, but thank you for coming through. Mwinzi, I really doubted your network when we tested this afternoon, but it's been great. But before we leave, I just want to pay tribute to Kenya has lost a football player, Kevin Oliech. Yes, he's been battling cancer for a couple of years. Been undergoing treatment in Germany, sadly passed away yesterday late afternoon. So I just want to pay my respects to the Oliech family, and to say Pole Sana. It's difficult. He played football in this country. I covered him personally around 2008, 9, 10, when he was playing in the Kenyan Premier League. So may he rest in peace. I just wanted to mention that to Kevin Oliech and, of course, all his friends. It's a really, really sad time for Kenyan football. But I just want to say thank you, guys, and thank you to everybody who watched the show, and we'll meet again next week. And if you want to come back at a later day in a future show, you can inbox me, but not next week. I need to give new people a chance. So that's all, guys. It's been real. Thanks a lot. Huh? And
Thank
Kennedy,
you.
your power came back, so that's good stuff.
Yes.
Now we know what you look like. Bye. Cheers, guys. Cheers, and thanks to everyone for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.